definitive. It's someone challenging you. It's not a conversation. And the tough part about Christianity when you're a pastor, right? You can read the book, you can know the book, but someone will ask you a question like, so do you think the baby penguins are dying because Lord turned his back on them and then did this? And you're like, whoa. Let me call him. Like, hey, like, God, like, hey, what's up?
I hate penguins.
Yeah, exactly. Like, oh, okay. Yeah, he hates penguins. But, it's a tough spot to be in, and especially when you are when you're in such despair, like when you're not quite believing what you are saying to you. So it's. It was interesting. It's sad, and it's just interesting watching this man break. I mean, from the 8 weeks, he has a very bad 8 weeks when they want to do the 250th, reconsecration?
Reconsecration, yeah.
Yeah, the reconsecration to the reconsecration. Those 8 weeks are bad.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems a little sudden for me. It does. It seems like his turn towards Drano drinking and explosive vests happened quickly. I don't know. He seemed to already be turning that way with his son, and it's just, I don't know. It just leaves. I think my one flaw with this movie, and I don't even know if it's a flaw, and maybe you can talk me out of it, and I'll say I'm wrong, but it does, right? It does. Doesn't it seem like kind of a quick? Was he already there? What led him to want to blow up Bulk? I know Bulk shot him down like the Red Baron, but and then his anger over the church, the mega church, the feelings. He knows he has cancer. He's sick. He's drinking. He's not in the right state of mind. He's suffering from depression, despair. But I don't know. Am I wrong? Am I wrong, Jonny Numb? Tell me I'm wrong.
I'll say this, Mark. I did feel like maybe it was a little, I don't want to say abrupt, but maybe a little bit too sharp of a turn at that point in the movie. I feel like Schrader does kind of cling to a certain narrative structure with this thing, and I like how he kind of builds to that point of, hey, it's the reconsecration, it's a big deal, and obviously that's going to be kind of the coda of the film in one way or another. I think it's very telling that Toller, once he discovers, or once Mary tells him about the suicide vest that Michael was ostensibly planning on using, the fact that he doesn't get rid of it, he just leaves it there in his quarters at the parsonage, I believe. You know what? I'm not going to get rid of this. I don't know if it's like the sense of being drawn to something dangerous, and therefore you can't kind of quite shake it. There's like a temptation. There's temptation there. And I think him seeing that, and then maybe what he experiences subsequently, like trying to console Mary, encountering Bulk, getting shot down by Jeffers, I think all of that kind of snowballs on top of each other to a point where, I could buy that he would kind of make that turn. And I know the way he was growling at the fact that Mary showed up at the reconsecration when he told her not to, I just like totally felt his internal struggle. Like he's pacing back and forth and he's growling to himself. I really liked that. I thought it was very honest and truthful. And it was kind of like, well, is this, I don't know. There's so much going on, and I'm like trying to piece it together in a way that makes sense. But yeah.
Yeah, and sorry to throw you out there. I mean, I gave you a hell of a question, so it's a tough one to answer. And I guess you're right. I mean, the man is already broken. I would say Toller. He is, and I think to a certain extent, Jeffers makes a point when he said you're always in the guard. He kind of starts wanting to martyr himself. That's what I think he thinks he's doing, and I think when you really alienate yourself from the world and you're in that amount of despair already, you are going to go towards the dark places. And when they play the game of the magical mystery ride, when it's him and Amanda's, her name's Mary, by the way, too. That's
very symbolic.
Yeah. And when they play that magic mystery ride, it starts nice, right? It starts with the trees and it starts beautiful, but then it goes to hell. It's like Jack in the house that Jack built.
It's pretty much deforestation and factories pumping smoke into the environment. Yeah, pretty much everything bad you can do to the earth and your people, it shows up after. And that's when they fall out of the frame too. I kind of like that. Yeah.
And that's what's on him. So
Mm-hmm.
he could have gone anywhere during this magical mystery ride with Mary, but that's where he went. So he has this opportunity and he just went dark.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I guess that's a really good way of telling us his mindset without saying it.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And something else, Mark, I go back to a bit of voiceover from very early in the film when he's talking to Michael for the first time.
He was thrilled, right? He was thrilled by the conversation. Is that what you were going to say?
There's a bit of voiceover early in the film where he's talking with Michael, and he talks about how exhilarating it is to have this conversation. So perhaps Toller is kind of projecting a bit of himself onto the Michael character, maybe, in that he wants to give a crap as much as this guy does, maybe. He wants to sort of embrace that world-saving idealism, maybe in the way he thought he would as a army chaplain, maybe in the way he thought his son would serve honorably, survive, get decorated with some medals, and come back. But that's not what life had in store. So I think Toller, in a little bit was latching on to Michael, even in his perspective, even from that early point. And I love that moment closer to the end where he drives through a nasty section of whatever city he's living near, only to pace all night for assuming it's hours. He's pacing back and forth at this Superfund site, kind of lost in thought, because we see him get there when it's dark, and then it fades up into sort of a funky neon colored sunrise. Yeah, so I don't know.
And he was exhilarated. He said he was exhilarated by that conversation that he had.
Yeah.
And he felt alive, and the guy just kept coming at him, and he kept answering questions. I mean, he didn't really help too much, but he felt. But I also, so Michael, right? So when he talked to Michael said that he didn't want Amanda Seyfried to have a child. I mean, she's what, 8 months pregnant?
Something like that, yeah.
So yeah, he wanted to end that. He wanted to end it. He wanted to abort the child because he didn't want to bring a kid into a world that is being polluted and destroyed. I mean, he drops all these numbers on you.
Mm-hmm.
But Ethan Hawke tells him, hey, I lost a son, and the world is not a better place with someone dying. What do you think that did to Michael's headspace?
Yeah, I think often when you're a pastor, you're trying to find the silver lining with stuff. And I don't know that a pastor, I don't know that my dad would have gone into that much detail if he were having the same conversation with someone, if he'd had the same experience. But it's weird because, like you said, as the film progresses, it seems like Toller's getting shot down more and more, and maybe he really isn't that good at his job. Maybe he's reluctant to seek medical care. Or psychological care for that matter. Like you said, the pastor needs a pastor line. I feel like there is some sort of transference going on between those two characters. Like Michael is bringing up all these kind of hopeless facts, or what he assumes are, projections of fact based on science. Whereas Toller is kind of like, well, here's the other side of that kind of. I feel like there was something going on there, but like so much else in this film, it's not explicitly articulated. You're left kind of questioning why Michael took his life a little bit, because there's no real. He doesn't say, "Oh, I'm gonna go off and kill myself back soon," kind of thing. But it's. I don't know. I think I got away from your initial question.
It's just. Yeah, I mean, this is a guy who, I think in his fragile state, he's really become like a recluse, dealing with all of this. He's on the internet all day. He's on projections, and he's dealing with all that. And then he wants his wife to get rid of the baby. But then this man tells him, I lost a child, and the world doesn't need that. That kind of rocks you a little bit.
Yeah.
So that might have kind of sent him into a tailspin, I would say.
I could see that. Yeah, definitely.
Right? You don't really want a broken person lecturing a broken person. But I guess we're all broken people, so we're all lecturing each other. Who knows what psychiatrists are? Hey, so let's do this. Oh, I just want to say something real quick. The Georgia Film Critics Association, which I'm a part of, Ethan Hawke was awarded Best Actor in 2019. Just to give you all a heads up on that.
That makes me very happy because I don't think he was even nominated for an Oscar, which I think was a gross miscarriage of justice. Yeah.
Stupid. I mean, I'm happy that it got nominated for Best Original Screenplay. But yeah, I mean, I don't get it. And Willem Dafoe was not nominated for The Lighthouse, correct?
Shoot, I don't remember. Oh, man.
His farts were so good.
Oh, man. if he wasn't nominated, that was another injustice right there. Definitely. I think he might have been, or something from that movie was nominated, but I don't know if it was him.
So we're gonna go take a break, and we're gonna write some handwritten letters to the Academy. And when we come back, we'll have gotten Willem Dafoe an Academy Award nomination for that role. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Movies, Films, and Flicks. And ever the jokester, Paul Schrader was talking to Sofia Coppola, and they were talking about the ending of the movie. And he said he always wanted to mean either two things. Either he was about to drink Drano, Amanda Seyfried, Mary, comes in, and they start smooching with the camera going around them in a flurry that you've never seen before. I mean, like, it looks like Clerks 2 when...
or the prom scene in Carrie or something like that. Yeah,
so much camera movement, and you're like, what is happening? Or he drank the Drano and then was just seeing it. The original script, which I think, I'm going to ask you about this, Jonny Numb. The original script, until someone talked him out of it, was that Toller drinks the Drano, sits there, and this falls over, and then we just see a cross for about 40 seconds, and then the movie goes to credits. Okay, so are you the ending? Okay, this is a really random thing. So what was? I gotta look up this movie. Charlie Kaufman's Netflix movie that came out this year. It's
I'm Thinking of Ending Things.
Yeah,
is that what it is?
Yeah, I'm Thinking of Ending Things. I watched that movie and I never was interested in meaning of it. I just let it wash over me. I wasn't gonna go write the ending of this movie explained, and it's a synopsis and it's a clickbait. Never mind, I hate those articles. But I didn't want to say, oh, well, actually Megan picked it out really quick, which was amazing. But so she called it, and I was like, oh, cool. But I just let that movie wash over me. Like, I think Jessie Buckley's going to win an Oscar eventually. Everyone is amazing in it. And I just let it I was like hard rain, that movie. I just let it rain on me. You know, it's weird. And then I robbed a bank with Christian Slater.
Yeah, I was going to say Morgan Freeman on the scene. Yeah.
Jet skis. But
we got a slippery one here, Mark.
Yeah. And Randy Quaid shooting at me.
But I'm the sheriff of what?
Yeah. Oh man, I'm in a canoe. I blow up a dam and it kills somebody, and I go, damn. You're damned.
I saw that movie in the theater, Mark. But anyway, go ahead.
I would hate to work on that movie. So much water. I knew somebody who worked on it, and I was like, what was it like? He's like, it sucked. That's all I got out of him. It sucked.
You know, I recall a critic saying something about how, you know, the more the water rises, the less chance there is of like fast moving action, kind of, except on the jet ski. So I was like, yeah, you got a point there.
Yeah, and it's just people trudging through water.
Yeah.
Like, oh, we got to run 40-minute mile. But for me, this ending, I don't care which one it is. I don't. I don't. Why? Like, she's gonna bust in. They're just gonna start smooching. What am I, 8 smooching? But they start making out. But they, or he drank the Drano and he died. It's not important to me. It's I know maybe people want to be provocative, and I read some really excellent articles, man. I found some articles online that are brilliantly written. They really understand the movie. They do an excellent job. But there's no answer.
Yeah.
So for me, I don't want to postulate on. I hope that's the right word.
Pontificate, Mark.
Pontificate, or pustule about it for a while. Pete Postlewaite on it for a while. Kevin Costner's the postman for a while, but it's
your son is the Antichrist, Mr. Thorne.
Greg Popovich.
Whatever his character's name was in Alien 3. Yeah.
Papa Giorgio. That's from something. I forget. Mr. Papa Giorgio. But it's. Do you care? Did you care? Did you? When I finished this movie, man, I didn't go research it. I didn't. Actually, what I researched was the camera. When I watched it way back in the day, because I was really interested in the aspect ratio of it all, and I messed it up on the podcast, of course. But it's. I just let it hit me, and then it ended. I went, I liked it. I didn't want to go drink a large cappuccino with Michael Myers, and so I married an axe murderer and talk about it. It just wasn't for me. What about you?
You know what, Mark? I'm with you there. I'm fine with the way it ends. I've heard some speculation as to the quote unquote meaning of that ending. I think it's